We chase higher willingness to pay to prove value, but the source of willingness to pay matters more. A business built on customer love is a better investment than one built on coercion, even with the same profit. Hi, it's Mark Donegan with the Marketing Execution Podcast, and I've seen founders build the wrong kind of competitive advantage. Let's talk about the willingness to pay framework for B2B.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, blowing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing convo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing convo.
Mark, I've been sitting with this idea all week and I can't shake it. You know how we always talk about pricing strategy? Well, I came across this framework that completely reframes how we should think about why customers actually pay us money.
Oh, this is going to be good. I can tell by your voice you're about to drop something on me.
Yeah, so it's this concept around willingness to pay. But here's the thing, it's not what the economists tell you it is. The traditional view is it's missing so much nuance.
Okay, I'm with you. Because honestly, the economist's definition has always bugged me. They just say willingness to pay is whatever price someone would pay, right? But that's so exactly.
It lumps everything together. Like someone paying for life-saving medication because they'll die otherwise gets treated the same as someone happily paying extra for their favorite brand of coffee.
Which is insane when you think about building a business around it. So what's the framework here?
Well, this is where it gets really practical for founders. There are actually 3 distinct types of willingness to pay, and each one has completely different strategic implications. And I want you to break these down because I think this could change how people think about their entire go-to-market.
All right, let me dig in here because this is exactly what we love talking about on the Marketing Execution Podcast. So the 3 types are love, utility, and coercion. And the order matters. It really, really matters.
Start with love. What does that even mean in a business context?
So love is when customers are genuinely happy to do business with you. They're not just satisfied. They're your allies. They root for your success. And here's the hidden secret most founders miss. When you build love-based willingness to pay, your customers actually want you to be profitable.
Wait, hold on.
No, seriously, think about it. I once heard of a company that made this indie video game. Right? Just 3 people. They kept the price low, gave away expansion packs for free, and their fans literally begged them to charge more money.
That's wild.
But it makes perfect sense. When customers love you, they become evangelists. They answer questions on Twitter for you. They leave 5-star reviews without being asked. And here's what's crucial for founders to understand. This creates non-linear growth. Your marketing costs stay flat while your customer base multiplies.
So what actually creates love? Like, how do you engineer that?
It's a combination of things. Mission, people supporting something bigger than themselves. Exceptional design that shows you genuinely care about their experience. Community, where members actually help each other. And this is important. It's also about reciprocity, when the company gives before it takes.
Okay, so that's love. What about utility?
Utility is the fair exchange. Your product is useful. It's not painful to use. Customers are getting their money's worth. Think integrations, being a system of record, training investments. It's the devil you know situation.
Right.
And here's the thing. Utility is fine. It's neutral to positive, but it doesn't create advocacy. Like nobody's going on forums spending their personal credibility to tell strangers to buy your product just because it's useful.
So what's the strategic difference between love and utility?
Huge. With love, when a competitor shows up with better features or lower prices, your customers stay anyway. They're buying for reasons beyond features and price. With utility, well, I saw this play out with project management tools. There was this dominant player. Everyone used it, but nobody really loved it. Then a new competitor came along with exceptional user experience, and suddenly,
People started switching.
exactly. And not just switching, actively advocating for the switch, trying to convince their whole team. That's the vulnerability of utility-only positioning.
Okay, now coercion. This one sounds darker.
Yeah, and look, this is where a lot of companies actually operate, whether they admit it or not. Coercion is contract lock-in, data lock-in, effective monopolies, bundle stuffing. It's retaining customers through paperwork rather than choice.
And the problem with that is?
Your customers become allied with your competitors. They're internally motivated to leave. They're just waiting for an excuse. When someone asks on Twitter what tool to use, your own customers say, "Do not make the same mistake we did." That's brutal. It is brutal. And here's what even cold-blooded capitalists need to understand. Even if you don't care about ethics or making the world better, love still beats coercion as an investment strategy. If you had two identical companies, same revenue, same profit, but one generates willingness to pay through love and the other through coercion,
You'd invest in love every time.
every single time, because I know that the customer base will help them grow efficiently while competitors look on helplessly. The coercion company, their customers are praying for a disruptor to save them.
So the practical takeaway for founders is
Build love first. You can add utility. You can even add some coercive elements later if you need to, but it's almost impossible to generate love starting from a coercive position. The order matters.
Mark, that's fascinating. Let's pivot for a second and talk about what this means for a founder who's just starting out and trying to figure out which of these three levers to pull first.
You know, Tim, that's actually the question that keeps me up at night, because here's what most founders get wrong. They think this is about tactics, like, oh, I'll just add a community feature or write a mission statement and boom, I've got love.
Right. It's not a checklist.
Yeah, and I think, look, the reason this framework matters so much is that it fundamentally changes how you think about your relationship with customers. It's not just about what you're selling, it's about what you're building together.
So unpack that for me. What does that actually mean in practice?
Okay, so I've seen this play out so many times. A founder comes to me and says, "Mark, our churn is killing us." And my first question is always, why are people staying? Not why are they leaving? Why are they staying? That's interesting. Because if the answer is, well, they're staying because it would be a pain to migrate their data, that tells me everything I need to know. You've built a coercion business. And here's the thing that's kind of terrifying about that, which most founders miss.
Wait, hang on. Isn't some lock-in just normal? Like every SaaS product has switching costs.
Yes, and that's the nuance here. Having switching costs isn't the problem. The problem is when switching costs are your only retention strategy. When that's all you've got, you're building on quicksand.
Because eventually someone comes along who makes switching easy enough.
Right. I know of a company that dominated their space for years. Enterprise software, huge contracts, the whole thing. And they got comfortable. They stopped innovating on the user experience because, hey, who's going to switch? The migration would take 6 months.
Let me guess what happened next.
Oh, you know exactly what happened. A startup shows up, builds a beautiful product, and here's the key part. They made migration easy. They literally built tools to import data from the incumbent. And suddenly, all those locked-in customers had an escape hatch.
And they ran for it.
They ran for it. And not just quietly. They were on social media saying, "We finally escaped," like they'd been freed from prison or something.
That's brutal.
It is. But here's why this matters for early stage founders. You have a choice right now about what kind of company you're building. And that choice compounds over time.
So you're saying the foundation you lay early determines what's even possible later.
That's it. That's exactly it. If you start with coercion, if your first instinct is, how do I lock customers in? You're training yourself and your team to think adversarially about your customers. And that mindset is really, really hard to shake.
Versus starting with love, where you're asking a very different question.
You're asking, how do I make them genuinely happy to do business with us? How do I make them root for our success? And look, I'm not being naive here. You still need a product that works. You still need utility, but the order matters.
So love first, then layer in utility.
Right. And here's what's wild. When you have love, you can actually add some coercive elements later, and customers won't hate you for it because they trust you. They know you're not trying to trap them.
I never thought about it that way.
Think about Apple. They have tons of lock-in, the ecosystem, the proprietary connectors, the whole thing. But people don't feel trapped because there's genuine love there too. The design, the brand, the whole experience.
So it's not that coercion is always evil.
No, it's that coercion without love is a ticking bomb. You're just waiting for someone to come along and give your customers a reason to leave.
Okay, so this is fascinating from a strategic standpoint, but I want to get really practical here. For a founder listening right now who's thinking, okay, I get it, love is better, how do they actually start building that into their company?
Okay, let's get into how people can actually use this stuff.
Yes, okay, I'm ready. Give me something I can do this week.
All right, so first thing, and this sounds almost too simple, but stay with me. You need to audit your current retention. Like, actually look at why people are staying.
Not why they're leaving.
Right. Everyone obsesses over churn reasons, exit surveys, all that stuff. But flip it around. Send a quick note to 10 of your best customers. Ask them one question. Why are you still here?
And you're listening for what?
You're listening for the emotion behind the answer. If they say stuff like, oh, it would be a hassle to switch, or, well, all our data's in there now, that's a red flag. That's utility at best, coercion at worst. Versus if they say things like, I just love how you guys operate, or your support team saved my butt last month, or I tell everyone about you. That's love. That's what you want to hear.
So step one is literally just ask 10 customers why they stay.
Yep. And write down their exact words. Don't summarize, don't clean it up. Their language tells you everything about what kind of business you've actually built.
I feel like a lot of founders are going to be surprised by what they hear.
Oh, they will be.
Okay, so let's say I do the audit and I realize, yeah, we're mostly in utility or coercion territory. What's next?
So this is where it gets fun. You pick one thing, just one, and you go all in on building love around that one thing. Think about Notion. When they were early, they could have just been another docs tool, another place to store stuff. Pure utility, right? But they made a bet on templates. They let users create and share templates, and then they featured community templates prominently. Suddenly, you've got people building stuff for Notion, sharing it, getting recognition.
Oh, so they turn users into creators.
Exactly. And creators have a totally different relationship with your product. They're invested in it. They want Notion to succeed because their templates live there. Their reputation is tied to it.
That's love.
Exactly. And here's what's wild. It didn't require some massive product overhaul. It was one feature executed really well with a community layer on top.
So for a founder listening, the question is, what's your version of template?
What's the one thing where you can turn customers from users into participants, into allies? Maybe it's a community Slack channel where customers help each other. Maybe it's featuring customer stories on your website. Maybe it's, actually, let me give you a super technical one.
Yeah, go for it.
Customer advisory boards. I know, sounds fancy, but it can be as simple as you invite 5 customers to a monthly call, you ask them what you should build next, you actually listen, and then you tell them when you ship something they suggested.
That's it?
That's it. But think about what happens. Those 5 customers now feel ownership. They told you to build the thing. You built it. They're going to tell everyone. They're going to defend you when competitors come knocking because they're part of the story now. And it costs you nothing. 1 hour a month, maybe a nice thank you gift once in a while.
Okay, I love that. So we've got audit your retention reasons, pick one love building initiative, and the advisory board idea. What about companies that are already doing some of this but want to go deeper?
So this is where you start thinking about reciprocity. And this is the thing most founders get backward.
How so?
They think about what they can get from customers. How do I get more referrals? How do I get case studies? How do I get them to upgrade? Instead of asking, what can I give? And I don't mean discounts. I mean genuine value with no strings attached.
Like what?
Okay, so Basecamp. For years, they've published books, blog posts, and their whole philosophy on how to run a company. All free. They're not hiding it behind a paywall. They're not saying, buy our product and then we'll teach you stuff.
They just give it away.
And what happens? People read their stuff, think these people really get it, and then when they need project management software, guess who they think of first?
So the giving creates the trust that eventually leads to the buy.
Exactly. And it's not manipulative. It's not some funnel trick. It's genuine. You're actually helping people whether they buy or not. And that is what builds love.
I think a lot of founders hear this and think, but I don't have time to write books and blog posts.
You don't need to. It can be small. Answer questions in forums where your customers hang out. Share your actual learnings, not just marketing content. When a customer has a problem, spend an extra 15 minutes helping them, even if it's not technically your responsibility. That's where love lives, in the moment where you could have said, that's not our problem, but you didn't.
You know what's funny? This all sounds so obvious. Like, of course you should be nice to customers.
Right? But go look at how most SaaS companies actually operate. Look at their cancellation flows. Look at how hard it is to talk to a human. Look at the dark patterns in their pricing pages.
They're optimizing for the wrong thing.
They're optimizing for short-term metrics instead of long-term relationships. And look, I get it. When you're an early-stage company and cash is tight, it's tempting to squeeze every dollar. But you're making a trade-off that compounds against you over time.
Because coercion creates customers who are just waiting to leave.
Exactly. And here's the really scary part. You might not see the damage for years. Your retention looks fine, your numbers look fine, but underneath, you've got a customer base that's one good competitor away from abandoning you.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. For a founder who wants to start building more love into their business, what's the actual sequence? Like Monday morning, what do I do?
Okay, week 1, do the retention audit. Ask 10 customers why they stay. Write down their exact words. Week 2, categorize those responses. Are they talking about love, utility, or coercion? Be honest with yourself here.
And if it's mostly utility or coercion?
Then week 3, you pick one initiative, just one. Could be a community thing, could be an advisory board, could be a content strategy, whatever fits your business, but commit to it for at least 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah, because this stuff doesn't show up in your metrics immediately. It's not like running an ad where you see results in a week. Love compounds over time. You got to be patient.
And week 4?
Week 4, you start looking at your product through the lens of, where are we accidentally being coercive? Are there dark patterns? Is our cancellation flow designed to frustrate people? Do we make it hard to export data?
And you fix those things.
You fix them, even if it means some short-term pain, because every coercive element is a liability. It's a place where a competitor can come in and say, hey, we don't do that sketchy stuff. And suddenly your customers have a reason to leave.
It's like you're either building allies or you're building future defectors.
That's exactly it, Tim. And the beautiful thing is, this isn't just good ethics, it's good business. The companies that win in the long term are the ones whose customers genuinely want them to succeed.
Because those customers become your marketing team.
Your marketing team, your product team, your defense against competition. When you have love, your customers will forgive your mistakes. They'll give you feedback instead of just churning. They'll tell their friends.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about the 3 types of willingness to pay: love, utility, and coercion. We talked about why love creates the most durable businesses, and we just went through a pretty concrete playbook for how to actually build it. Mark, can you tie all of this together for us? What's the big picture takeaway that founders should walk away with?
All right, let me bring this home. We started by breaking down willingness to pay into 3 types: love, utility, and coercion. And these aren't just categories. They're fundamentally different relationships with your customers. Love means they're rooting for you. They want you to win. Utility means they're getting fair value. It's fine, but they'll leave if something better comes along. And coercion, that means they're trapped. They're waiting for an escape hatch. And here's what matters for founders. The order you build these in determines what's even possible later. Start with love, and you can layer in utility and even some lock-in without losing trust. But start with coercion, you're building a business where your own customers are secretly cheering for your competitors.
So Mark, after all of that, what's the one thing you really hope people don't forget?
Honestly, it's this. Every interaction with a customer is a vote. You're either voting to make them an ally or you're voting to make them a future defector. And those votes compound. So evaluate. What kind of business am I actually building? Because 5 years from now, you're going to be living with the answer. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.